we're here today with Joe. Introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? I'm Joe. Nick, first and foremost, it's an honor to do this interview with you. I know that we've been going back and forth for a little bit. You know, we're always like, what are you up to, dude? What am I up to, etc. So it's awesome to just come on here and, kind of just give your viewers, give a little bit about myself. But my name's Joe. I started phone flipping about 2 years ago and started really taking it seriously about a year and a half ago, to the point where I started from under $1,000 and built this up to this year. We did over 6 figures in sales for my business in 2019. And in 2020, I'm just trying to keep going and kill it, man. But just happy to be here.
Yeah, so you said, did you, meet just you start, or, do you have more people working for you?
It's mainly just me.
Nah, yeah, so since it's, mainly you, do you think anyone can do this, or, who all has to, special skills or stuff like that?
Yeah, no, so that's a great question. I actually get that a lot when people reach out to me. Dude, just to put it in perspective, I started this business literally while I was still a full-time college student, working hard in school, and I just started it without having zero knowledge on this stuff, but never really specifically phones. It was like game systems. I'd buy stuff in bulk from China and then resell it, kind of just stuff like that. But I still remember it like it was yesterday. I flipped an iPhone 7 Plus, and back then they were obviously worth a lot more than now. I think I bought it for like $120 and flipped it for like $250. And I was like, holy shit, that took me like 10 minutes, 5 minutes to do. And ever since that, I was hooked. I was just insanely hooked. I just think anybody can do it, and I really think it's the best business to start in 2020, whether that's a side hustle or a main hustle, because it's very simple. And once you have a process down, it's awesome, man. It's crazy. Doing 6 figures this year in sales was extreme goal of mine, and I have other sources of income. I know me and you used to talk and trade crypto, and we still do. But this is just a great stream of income. So anybody can do this, man. It's not that hard.
Yeah, so you mentioned that it's the best business anyone can do. So how is it better than Amazon FBA, or what makes it easier or more sufficient? Because I know on FBA you have to talk to wholesalers, you have to negotiate the price, and then you have to get the shipment in, send it to Amazon. You need at least, I'd say, minimum of $2,000 working capital in order to get started on that. So what makes it different for phone flipping?
Yeah, no, that's another great question. I just think that this business is the best business to start in terms of no matter really where you're at. If you have a full-time job, if you're a full-time college student, part-time, full-time, you're going to get what you get out of this business about how much work you put in. And I know that sounds kind of cliche like other businesses, but I was making a few $1,000s a week just doing this in school. And I was full-time. So that's why I think, in my opinion, in 2020, if you're new to being an entrepreneur, or you have some experience, or you have a full-time job, I think it's the best business to start, because I have done Amazon FBA. A little bit. I've done a little bit of Amazon FBA. I've done drop shipping, and those worked. But this is it's such a thing where you can scale and build up. And I'm not saying you can't scale or build those things up. You certainly can. But like we said, right, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. I like this business in 2020 because of this. It's so simple. Once you have a process down and you're posting your ads, anybody can really do it once they learn. So I do like those forms of income and, those revenue streams. But I'm going to say this is the best business to start because it's so simple and anybody can really do it. You're gonna get what you get. What you put into it is what you're going to get out. So in this business, that's really why I like it.
Yeah, so in that sense, I guess, because it's how much money would you say to get started, to also, on that note, transfer from the starting amount to basically 6 figures? Because I know from personal experience that was the hardest barrier to break, but then after that point it just became super easy to almost doing that on a monthly basis in a sense. Because once you reach six figures and you know how to do it, it's like a sort of a game, and you can always get back to that point.
Yeah, no, okay. So, like, I had the money to go in and start with, thousands and thousands of dollars, but I think we're kind of alike in the sense that a lot of people might feel this way. I personally like to start businesses with low amounts of capital, to kind of feel it out. I mean, it really depends on the certain type of business and income stream that it is. But for phone flipping, I just took some of my profits from cryptocurrency and stocks and other stuff like that. And I literally only put like $700-800 into it when I first started out. So you don't need a lot to start out. You can start out at any amount you want. I remember when I started getting going and I was like, shit, I'm out of money for this business this week. I would start selling off different stuff and, just kind of liquidating different assets to put more money into the business. In terms of getting to six figures, like I said, it's just all about what you put into the business. There'd be times I'd wake up and I'd be driving all day. Like I'd miss all my classes and I'd be driving all day, picking up stuff. And I know me and you aren't that big of advocates at school.
No.
But it was like, dude, I was just like, if I can make like $600 in one day by just driving around and picking up new and used electronics from customers, like, why am I going to sit in class? And that's a whole nother story. Most people stay in school. But if you're like us, like you want to, get out of your comfort zone, try something new, I would definitely just say this is an awesome business. And like you said, it wasn't that hard to scale to six figures, but I also was giving it 100%, like every single day. I would skip going out on weekends. I'd skip, different events with friends just to completely solidify this business. So, of course, if you're starting with only $100, $200, then, it's definitely going to be a little bit more challenging than if you were to start with a few thousand. But I think that's good because once you're starting out with that small amount of money, you're human error. You're not going to make that many errors because you're going to slowly learn this business. Now, there's different places you can get information from. Obviously, I have a YouTube channel, and there's a bunch of other people that I can link below. And I know you know some people too. But it's just such a great business, man. And I know I've told you about it multiple times. It's crazy. So I'm not going to say it was hard to scale to six figures, but I am going to say that I put in the fucking work. And for anybody that's going to put in the work and seriously like dedicate and sacrifice, it's like any business, man, right? Sacrifices, you got to make it. It's like what you do too. So yeah, that's a big answer, but it was a loaded question. So
yeah, I feel like especially like the weekends would be the best time to like buy phones in that sense because I feel like everybody would be home and have free time, I guess.
Yeah. Well, really, you'd be surprised. It really depends on the type of customer. I bought from literally everybody in the book. So like, there's some nurses who work at night. I bought like a doctor's phone, and some of them do like surgery and stuff like that at night. But it really just depends on your clientele and your area. But I would say like 24/7, I'm getting hit up on constant platforms, whether that's me getting text messages, whether that's me getting, Facebook messages from my business page, etc. But if you can only do it on weekends, kill it on weekends. I've found though that every day of the week, for me at least, I'm getting hit up. So there definitely are some better days than others. I'd say, Friday, for whatever reason, for me, has worked really, really well. But yeah, man, every day of the week, you just got to be constantly on the hunt,
Oh, yeah. So last thing, because I know you got to go, but do you have, like, any advice or tips for people starting out? Because even I might start getting into this at that point.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I have a free YouTube channel where I pretty much discuss everything and anything phone flipping. I'm probably going to be coming out with more consistent content on that. I also have a Facebook group. It's called Phone Flipping Family 0 to 100. And that's a completely free group. And it's so cool because we have guys in there that are, just starting out making like a few $100 a week to guys in there that are like international wholesalers and direct buyers, which I'll get into in another video. So I'd highly recommend checking out my YouTube. I'll link some other YouTubers as well. I definitely recommend just doing your due diligence with every business, kind of read up on it, watch some videos, talk to some people. But the main thing that I'd recommend doing besides joining Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that is just doing your own research, and you want to model success, right? So for me, when I first started out, sometimes I'd be like, I'm afraid to ask blank a question, or Bob or John a question, because I thought it would make me look dumb. But then as I started getting more and more into this business, I'm like, I'm learning his strategy, I'm learning their strategy, and I'm kind of just making my own hybrid strategy. So model success. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Definitely go on YouTube and search phone flipping. Check out mine. Join a Facebook group and just kind of take notes and give it all you got. If you're not comfortable with something, ask. And today, still like to this day, I'm constantly asking questions, from people that are way more experienced than I am. I'm not claiming to know it all. I'm just telling you how I started this business and scaled it from 6 figures. So I kind of hope did that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah. Thank you, man. And I will leave the link to your Facebook group and channels in the description below. And other than that, you got anything else to say, or you good?
No, man. I'm happy to do the interview, and it's great to be here, man. So everybody just keep going out there and killing it. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, man.